Woke up this morning, coffee in hand, flipped on the screen, my favorite man. Crafty's on the TV, chipping that stone with obsidian and flint. He's in the zone. He's shaping the future with a hit and a crack, building the legends, ain't no turning back. With every sharp edge, he's teaching the way of the ancients who thrive back in the day. Crafty on the TV, talking that smack, stone carving dreams, never looking back. From Texas to Vermont, Crafty studies us, chiseling the past, building futures for us. Wielding the hammer, he's steady and strong, crafting a world where we all belong. Underneath those layers of dust and grit, finds the magic every little bit. A sculptor of stories, buried in the ground. Each piece he uncovers wisdom abound. With every collision, the sparks start to fly. As the old world awakens, we question why. He's digging deeper where the shadows play, reviving old crafts that could fade away. Crafty on the TV, talking that smack, stone carving dreams, never looking back. From Texas to Vermont, Crafty studies us, chiseling the past, building futures for us. Wielding the hammer, he's steady and strong, crafting a world where we all belong. And in this life, we're all just searching for our place in the world, a way to keep working. With the flick of his wrist, he brings forth the light. In every gray morning, he makes it feel right. So gather around, let the stories unfold. Crafty's our guide through the young and the old. With the sun rising high and the day moving on, Crafty carves dreams till the light is all gone. He's shaping the future one chip at a time. With every creation, he's keeping the rhyme. From the heartland of Texas to the mountains of green, the legacy lives on through the stonework unseen. With every perspective, he's showing the way. Crafty keeps going, come whatever may. Crafty on the TV, talking that smack, stone carving dreams, never looking back. From Texas to Vermont, Crafty studies us, chiseling the past, building futures for us. Wielding the hammer, he's steady and strong, crafting a world where we all belong. So here's to the mornings with coffee in hand and Crafty on the screen, the true heart of the land. With a hit and a crack, he's paving the way through stone and through story. He inspires the day.
Hello, hello. It's that time again. We have a challenge night. Tonight's Thursday. What am I going to use for challenge night? Something challenging, I hope. Double tap the screen to like the live stream if you can't find the button. I saw that question. What is the like button? That's amazing. People on YouTube and they don't know what the like button is. Hey, Bobby. Aaron. Aaron Estes, $1.99 super chat. Thank you, thank you. Let's get it, Pat. Yay. Who's Pat? Okay, so Aaron's the first one. Sup? Timothy Lithic is here. Flakescard is here. Mr. Jim. Stoneface. Jorge Valadez. Charles Rooker. Robert English. Tommy Taylor is here. Alan is here. Graylin is here. Sam is here. Adam, let's see, Adam Kujoski sent a gold coin. Nice. My Flintknapping journey is here. Tim says he has the same neon sign of on air. Yay. Imagine that. Dockenstein is here. We got some new people in the chat too. Yep. First one was Aaron tonight. Yes. So if you're like the first people here, you get a shout out. And then later on, when I check the chat later on, I will shout out more names for the names that I recognize. Okay. Let me see. What are we going to do? We got some heat treat. Let me go get it. Well, let's see. We got heat treat and we got some other stuff. Let's see. Yeah, let's just do the heat treat because I looked at the other challenge stuff. I think that stuff is too challenging. Yeah, I've got some quartz. I don't know if I want to do quartz. I'll do it on a regular video. That way, if I mess up, I can just do it over again. Yeah. I took those away because if I start knocking off big flakes, the chances are one's going to land on one of those arrowheads. All right, so this is supposedly heat treat. All of these. Okay. This is Texas rock, but it's not that great as far as quality goes. But we're going to see. Yeah. And it has a little bit of rust on it because these were stored in metal buckets. Well, this one was. And then it rained and then it got rusty. But it's supposedly a heat treat for my friend Don. Okay, so let's break into those and see what we got. Let's put on the second glove. This stuff looks like it's going to be sharp. Yeah. And that stuff's been sitting around for a while in my basement. Yeah, I cleaned out more of my basement today. Yay. Do I like cleaning out my basement? No, because I'm reminded that I got everything all mixed up. I need to separate my flint from the cherts, from the obsidians, from the jaspers, and then start to separate each one of those into separate categories so that I can more easily identify what's going on. More easily identify what these things are, what's going on, as far as how much do I have of each. All that good stuff. All right, so I can start planning. Because when I moved to Vermont, I just kind of winged it, and didn't organize anything. I just brought up with me whatever I could, and I've just been winging it the whole time. And then I get new batches of rocks, and I just throw them down into the basement, so to speak. I got a lot of stuff in there. This is not a heat treat. And if it is, it's pretty nasty. What's up with this? This is a... Hey, Timothy Lithic, Super Chat received $9.99. Let's see what we got. Who's interrupting me with money? Who is it? Timothy Lithic, $9.99. Thank you very much. I'm going to put a heart and a like on that Super Chat. Thank you. All right. Welcome to the weird side of YouTube. Yeah, Jeff Jin is here. Hey. Cooking with us is a new person, I think. I low-key always wanted to do knapping in the Neanderthal style with using the broken off pieces as the actual point. Yeah, you can do that. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yep. Okay, I missed seeing those aluminum billets to nap. Yeah, I know. I'm just getting very comfortable with these copper ones. Besides, I messed up my knuckle on those billets, the ones that I use like this. I messed up my index finger knuckle. So whenever I use another one, it starts to swell up again. So I've got to wait and see if that improves at all. That's the main reason I don't use that type of billet anymore, the one I use like this with a flat end on it. But you can just watch repeats. Yeah, the repeats are good, or the reruns of my old videos. I got a library of old videos. Bunches. But yeah, it might get old after a while. You know what? I wasn't supposed to take that one off. Why didn't you tell me not to take that flake? I lost too much length. So I'm trying to get rid of the nasties on this one. I don't know if I had it written on here that it was a heat treat. It looks like it is because the cortex is looking like a different color than it's supposed to be looking. It's probably supposed to be more chalky, but I don't know, it might be heat treated. Sometimes it's difficult to tell. Some rocks don't change color. Some rocks don't improve all that much. I don't know what this was like before, you know, supposedly being heat treated. So it might have been extremely nasty. At least it naps a little bit. So we're going to do the easy part. Yeah. We're going to get rid of all the nasty stuff on here. Yeah. So did you want to use these kinds of flakes for Neanderthal tools? Is that what you're talking about? These LV201 or la flakes? This kind of stuff? Let's see. You know how they used to use these, right? Or what they're thinking anyway. Let me show you how they're supposed to be used for, supposedly. See, it has very sharp edges all the way around when you do it like that. When you just strike off these big old flakes. Okay? And what you do is you get a blob of glue, and I'm going to use modeling clay instead of the big blob of glue, because they used like birch tar, but they did not use the birch tar that was runny and gooey. They heated it until it became thick and gooey. And then when it cools down, it's very hard and brittle. And it can be used just like a handle, just by itself, just the glue by itself. So I'm going to pretend that this is a blob of birch tar that has been boiled down or heated so that it's thick. Now, how did they used to heat it back in the day? They say they used to heat this stuff in pits. Yeah. You know, they would do the destructive distillation of the birch bark in pits, and then you just keep it hot, and it eventually boils down to a thicker goo. And I need to do some experimental archaeology to do that now that I have access to lots of birch. Okay, so you elongate your birch tar, you warm it up near a fire, and you can do this with birch tar, okay, when it's warm. And what you do is you find a spot that you don't like on this flake, and you just insert it into the glue, a big blob of glue, okay, like this. And then you push the glue on there and make like a ulu knife type thing. Okay, so pretend this is birch tar. Gotta watch you don't cut yourself. Wear your gloves. Yeah, wear your Neanderthal gloves. And so then they let it dry, or no, they let it cool down, and that's it. That's the tool. Okay, big blob of glue. Some of these LV201 flakes have this birch tar on one side, and it's not for hefting on the stick. Okay, it's for doing this. You put a big blob of glue on one end, and now you can handle it. Ta-da! See? How do I know this? I do research. Okay. It's still, you know, it's not settled science. I'm just saying that that's what I've learned. Hey, Barbecue Addict says, I'm glad I finally was able to catch a live stream. Been watching the channel for a couple of years now. Awesome. I'm glad you've been watching for a long time, and that you're here now finally. Oh, that was a good one. Yes, get rid of those nasty spots. I'm gonna have to get rid of a lot of this on this side because it's all nasty. But this side looks good. Yeah. Yeah. So, what is this going to be? Well, I don't know yet. Supposedly, I can make just about anything except cool stuff. Yeah, I don't make the cool stuff. If I start making something that's really cool, I get a bunch of weirdos commenting that I'm not doing it right. I've been doing this a while, so you know I've heard it all. Yeah, and there's some things I just don't want to hear anymore. Yeah. Anyways, so what am I going to make out of this? Probably start out as a blade, and then we can refine it after that. But I got other rocks to nap too. I want to see how these responded to heat treatment. I did not heat treat these. A friend of mine did. So he said, try it out, because I didn't nap it. Didn't get a chance to nap them, so go ahead and try it. I said, okay, I'll take it. It's free. Thank you very much. I will do it. And I will do it on a video. Yeah. Because that's the way I roll. I do videos. Oh, dang, look at that. Okay, I know better than that, though. Yeah. I got too aggressive there. If you get too aggressive, mistakes start happening. It's funny how that works. Who do we have? I'm checking the chat here. Let me see. Who do we have in here? Jesse Garcia. Hello, hello. Let's see. I think, let's see, did I give away my aluminum billet? Let me check. Hold on a second. Let's pause a little bit. We're going to have a commercial break. We're going to pause and see if I still have an aluminum billet. No, not that. I always spill water. Luckily, that one didn't spill. Almost. Okay, so we got this. We got extra gloves. You're going to make me dig it out, so I'm going to show you everything we got in this bin. I need to use that. I even got heat shrink tubing. Okay, I got this aluminum billet. But this is too big. Yeah, it's too big for you guys. I do need to keep this out because I'm going to be spalling some obsidian. Big old Danny Collins piece of obsidian. Where are you? Are you in here? Are you in there or not? Where are you? Oh, I see another one. But this is too small. It's not like my other one. Although I can use this too. No, not that. Not that one. This one over here. Is it this one over here? No, not that one. How about this one? How about that? This? No, I gave it away. Yeah. I'm at the bottom of a bucket. So I got this one. I got this one. And I got that one. I got Papa Bear, Mama Bear, and Baby Bear, but I don't have Goldilocks. I gave away Goldilocks. Yeah, so... yeah, I'm pretty sure that I don't have that same aluminum billet I used to have. Yeah, because it's not in there. I looked all the way down to the bottom. So I was using this as a mallet. See that? It's heavier than the... where's the plastic one? Don't tell me I lost the plastic. Yeah, whenever I vacuum I lose things. Alright, so see, I can use this plastic one, which weighs about 6 ounces, I think. And this one weighs a lot more than 6 ounces. So this will really add some octane to your engine. Yeah, see that? It has a use on it too, see that? So I know it works. I just don't use it because I stopped trying to knap the equivalent of concrete. Yeah. And these quartz nodules that people send me. I quit doing it. Yeah. All right, so I mean, I can try using this one today. Yeah. Okay, so I'll keep these out because I'm going to knap a big old chunk of obsidian, like I said. So we need to have a variety of options for that big old chunk of obsidian. Just in case. Because Flintknapping is partly muscle memory and partly experimentation. Yeah. You don't think I know exactly what I'm doing every single time, do you? You think I don't experiment on each and every stone to see what its qualities are and see what works and what doesn't work? You don't think it's variable? You think everything's by formula? It's not. It's almost random. Because rocks are not consistent. There's a lot of experimentation to get it to do what you want. This stuff is not fitting back in the box. Hold on. It's not fitting back in the bin. You made me take everything out. I had it packed in there nicely. Is that a good one? Yeah. People are saying, why do you interrupt your live stream just for that one little comment? I don't know. Because I have ADHD, right? And it's satisfying when I interrupt myself. So what can I do with this? Well, it's got a flat end with lots of use on it. So let's see if we can use it. Let's make some magic, like the genie said. So yeah, I don't have my old one. I don't have my old aluminum billet. I'll have to make another one, which means I gotta go get a different diameter than this, right? Is it, or maybe this is the same. I think it is the same diameter, 1.25 inches or 1.5 inches on the other one that I was using in the past. Yeah, and we're gonna use it on this cruddy stuff, so it looks like I don't know what I'm doing. Yeah. Sweet. You see how I was using it? No? That's okay. You don't need to know how I'm using it. No, you don't need to, because aluminum doesn't work for flint knapping. No. As you can see, it doesn't even remove flakes. It doesn't work at all. So you don't need to know anything about it. Okay? Yeah, when I first started using it, people couldn't believe it. And they still don't. I don't see very many people using it. So that must be because they don't believe it works. Yeah. Why else would they not use it? Yeah, there's some internal defects in here. I got to get rid of those things. How does the aluminum compare to something like hammerstone or antler? Well, it's almost the same. Yeah. The weight is very similar to quartzite hammerstones by volume. It's almost the same weight as hammerstone. So if there was a hammerstone shaped like this, it would weigh about this much. The specific gravity on aluminum is very similar to the specific gravity on the quartz hammerstones, quartzite hammerstones. So it's heavier than antler, but not much heavier. I recommend you buying this instead of a moose billet. It lasts a lot longer. It's a lot more consistent. And as long as you wrap it with tape so you don't get too much aluminum on your hands. Aluminum is kind of toxic. As long as you don't mess with too much aluminum, wrap it with tape or whatever. And have some ventilation, because this sheds little pieces of metal too. You'll be okay. You'll be all set. Right? Right. You can show people how it doesn't work. I'm using it like this, okay? Let's see if I can hold it far away. See how that? Yeah, but you're not grinding it. What happened to the grinding? I'm grinding it a little bit. You don't need it very much. Not at this stage. If it was really thin, yeah, I would need to be more careful with it. But at this stage, it's just downward, basically. Downward force, a little bit of inward, because when you hit it, that angle that you're hitting it with pushes inward as it goes from down there to up there. There's inward force. And this angle is like a 45. I've been hitting it like a 45, but it varies depending on the type of stone. Some, you need to be very light with it, like you need to hit it like this if it's a delicate stone. But if it's hard and nasty, you got to be aggressive with it and get down at like 45. Yeah. But everyone's different. Some people don't use aggressive angles or aggressive techniques. They're very gentle, and I poke fun and say that they got their pinkies out and they're doing it very gently and very I don't know, with finesse and very dainty. They nap in a dainty way, and it drives me nuts. But to each their own. I'm not going to be going on their channel and saying anything. I just poke fun on this channel. I don't go on their channel and say, hey, you're not supposed to be doing that. Or I don't like it, I'm not going to watch it because you're doing it wrong. According to me. Yeah. I don't go on their channel. It's all right. Yay. What was the angle? I wish there was an angelometer. You guys can someone send me an angelometer to measure that angle? Because the new guys, they need it. They need the angelometer angles on this so that they can finally learn to nap. If they knew the angle, they'd be napping wizards. Yeah. I don't even know the angle. It just works. And you got to tweak it a little bit. If it's not working, you got to kind of work with it and tweak it a little bit. It's never the same angle. It changes a lot. Not by very much, but it does change. It's never the same because these edges are never the same. You get it? No, it's okay. You'll find out. I'm using it like this, okay? I know it's off camera. I'm trying to keep this in view. I could do this so you can see, you know, this would be kind of like an angleometer so you can see the angle a little bit. But I'm trying to hold the workpiece in view. I'm going to try to hit this gently. I'm holding it like this, like I could actually wrap a handle around this and use it like a hammer, because I'm using it like a hammer. But it's brushing, it's glancing. I'm using glancing blows. Yeah. But just experiment with the angles. People get all, I don't know, obsessed with angles. Just try different angles and remember which angles work. Okay? You hit it, it's not working. Try it a little bit different. Hit it, not working. Try a little bit different. Hit it, not working. Try a little bit different. Hit it, not working. Try a little bit different this way. Hit it, not working. Try a little bit different. Try these different angles. And then when you get a good flake, you go, ah, what angle was it? It was kind of like right here. Let's try it again. And eventually, with many rocks, you'll finally start to absorb the angles, and it'll become part of your muscle memory. So you don't have to think about it every time. Okay? All right. All right. We're working on this thinning a little bit now. And it's a whole different ball game as it starts to thin, because you're trying different kinds of flakes now. These thinning flakes need to go past halfway, whereas before they were just going a little bit with sometimes a big flake, but mostly little flakes, and then sometimes another big flake. Okay, but as it gets thinner and you want a lot of nice looking flakes, it changes the whole mindset. So I'm going to stop using that aluminum billet, because I think you saw what it could do. All right, and it's a little bit awkward. I'm not used to it. It's starting to make my fingers feel weird because I'm holding it in a different way that I normally hold stuff. And it affects the knapping, believe it or not. Little weird things going on can affect the accuracy when you're knapping. And the accuracy is all important. That's the most important thing. You develop accuracy over time. And the more accurate you are, the better you knap. Yeah. And accuracy is not just where you hit, but how hard you hit and how do you prepare this place that you hit. The preparation is important. The amount of force is important. But the accuracy overall is what you're after. Okay. And yeah, the accuracy also includes the angles. And they're not always the same. Depends on the rocks. Depends on the tools. Depends on a lot of factors. So I don't give people the angles. I used to say it's 56.2 or 52.6, one of those two. So go with that. It's just that helps you just as much as if I were to give you a precise angle, because you're going to try to get that precise angle every single time, and it's not going to work because it requires variation depending on the stone and depending on the edge. Okay? Depends on the size of flakes you want. You don't always want the same size flake, do you? No, you don't want always the same size flakes. Some flakes are bigger than others, so it's not always the same angle. Okay, just trust me. I'm trying to explain why it's not always the same, but you don't need to know that. You just need to know that it's never exactly the same every time, because the edge is not always exactly the same every time. And now you can make it so that the edge is exactly the same, and you can force things to be the same. If you want to knap that way, that's fine. But it takes you a long time to make something. Right? The object is to be efficient at making these things. That's what I'm thinking. If you want to eventually call this a survival skill, you can't be taking all day to do it, because when are you going to sleep, or when are you going to eat? When are you actually going to go hunting if you're spending all day, every day doing this? Okay? All right. It's the same, basically the same principle for these different tools. I'm using basically the same principle as I was before. This is different, okay? The way I hold it, I'm holding it like this for the bopper. I was holding it like this for the aluminum billet, okay? But the point of contact is the same. The point of contact on the piece is the same. The grinding is about the same. It depends on the copper slightly different. It smashes it more, so you need to grind it a little bit more. But it's pretty much the same as the point of contact is the same. And where the effect it has as it drags along the edge is the same. When you drag this rounded surface along the edge, it exerts inward force. When you drag the surface of this tool along the edge, it exerts inward force. It's exerting it in a different way. Now, I can do it like this too. Okay, and it'll drag this, inward also. I can also do it like this. Okay, so let's see what this is kind of awkward, but we'll see. Why is it awkward? The point of contact is a little more focused. Well, maybe it's the same diameter. No, this is more focused. Never mind. It's a little less focused as far as the amount of force. See, I don't even know. Yeah, like that. So it's the same principle, but you're holding it different. Now, people get upset about, well, this angle is confusing because this angle you're holding it at is different. It's all weird. Yeah. So don't worry about the angle. Just do what works. Okay? All right? All right. And I'm holding it like this rather than like this. I could be knapping like this too, but this is more ergonomic. That's why I'm holding it like this. It's more ergonomic. It's more comfortable. But I can also be holding it like this, and the results will be very similar, if not better. It might even be better if I were to get knappers cramp, hold them like this, and then striking like this, or doing like this somehow. But to me, this is ergonomic, so I use the ergonomic stance, even though it may not work as well as maybe some other positioning. Okay? I just make doo-doo with what I got. Okay? And the reason why I'm doing different holding arrangements, or whatever it is, different positionings, is because it shows you that you shouldn't get all hung up on this angle that you're holding the tool. Just focus on the workpiece and what works for the workpiece. Okay? All right. I scooped it a lot, didn't I? Scooped it a little bit too much. Hey, let's see who else is here. Solix is Peak says hi. Ross Wellman is here. The whole gang is here. Nice. David Nicholson. Joey Sheehan. Rockin' Pops Adventures is here. Stacy. Chris Hill. Okay, so let me go to the end of the chat. Alan Young is late. Dang it. Why are you so late? Is it the same angle? D-Nut asked me, is it the same angle? Yeah, of course. It's always the same angle. Every single time. The secret is the angle. If I give you the angle, you'll become an expert napper. Yeah. As long as you know the angle. Seriously? As long as you know the angle, all suddenly you can become good? Yeah. Obviously, because people are obsessed with the angles. If they just knew the angles, they could be really good at it. So just tell me. They think we're holding out on them. So some guys will actually make diagrams. I've done it before myself. I'm guilty of this myself. You do diagrams to show people the angles and stuff. But then you start napping different kinds of stones with different kinds of tools, and you realize that that's a very narrow interpretation when I'm showing you angles and I'm saying that it's you got to follow the conchoidal fracture mechanics and that kind of stuff. It doesn't explain that, a lot of what happens in Flintknapping. So I can tell you different angles and stuff, and you're not going to be able to nap when you're new unless you do it a lot. Yeah. Long story short, it doesn't matter what I tell you. You won't be able to do it because you need practice. And that's just the truth. That's not something that I'm making fun of. That's the way it goes. I do have instructional videos where I try to explain things. So if you do a search for Jack Crafty tutorial or Jack Crafty instructional, there are videos like that. I do have videos like that. And the older ones seem to be better for the new guys because I was not that great at Flintknapping in the beginning. So I was going through the same struggles you're going through. Sometimes it helps the new guys even more when they can see someone that has the same struggles. It's hard for someone that already does advanced napping to dumb it down, so to speak. Let's see, I could say, okay, you need to take this flake here. Watch. See how I did that? Just take a flake like that. Just do like that. And you can take a flake like that. But no, that takes a lot of practice. But as a guy with experience, it's hard to teach all the things that lead up to being able to take a flake like that. You just can't start brand new and take a flake like that reliably. And I can't really show you how to take a flake like that reliably. Okay? It comes with practice. Okay. There's always somebody. Is that obsidian? Is it obsidian? Does it look like obsidian? Maybe it looks like obsidian. Or do you not know what obsidian looks like? Or are you just being funny? I'm going to assume you're just being funny. Trying to be funny. Yeah. You got more than one window open, right? On your phone or your computer. You can, on the side, you can ask, ChatGPT. What's obsidian look like? Yeah, or you take a screenshot of what I'm doing, upload it to ChatGPT, and they ask him, is that obsidian? What is it? Can you analyze this rock? Is it flint, chert, obsidian, agate, chalcedony? What is it? It's a Texas rock. It is a chert, semi-translucent. Why does translucent matter? Well, if it's not translucent, we tend to call it jasper. Yeah. The translucent stuff is the chert and flint. I had to get rid of a lot of this side because it was nasty. There's still a little bit of weirdness in there. See that? So that's why it kind of looks lopsided. But I'm trying to not make it lopsided on purpose, okay? Eventually I have to improve the symmetry here. But I need to get rid of the weirdness in the stone. I don't know. It's probably just because of the natural properties of the stone. But I think this was also heat treated. Now that I'm getting used to it, it does feel like it could be heat treated, just because it does flake rather well. I've napped a bunch of Texas rock, and this is, if it's not heat treated, it's actually pretty good. So I'm thinking, it can't be that good. It's got to be heat treated. Yeah, it's got to be. Usually, rock that looks like this, it's not that good. It's kind of concretey because it's got these weird little patches. Anyways. Here we go. We're in the second stage. I don't want to clean up. I just want to get into it. The hardest part's coming up. Yeah, let's clean up. Get some of these flakes out of the way. It's also good to clean up the flakes a little bit so you don't drop the workpiece on some flakes and break the tip off. That's never happened to me. Oh no. Yeah. Some people might say, you get more viewers if you don't, if you don't get frustrated telling people the angles. And what was that? You were going through some kind of rant? Yeah, I was ranting a little bit. I just get frustrated. I do get frustrated on trying to figure out what could I tell people instead of telling them the angles that won't that'll help them out. I don't know. You just gotta practice. Get a bunch of rocks and practice. Just get the general idea. Yeah, you just get the basics. Just you know how I'm holding it, so you just hold it the same way and then try it. Get the same tools. These are commercially available. You can buy aluminum rod and cut it down to size. This is 1.5 inch diameter, right? Cut it down. This is a little bit too big. I suggest about a 4 or 5 inch piece, maybe even 3 inch. Yeah, you can use a piece as small as 3 inches and hold it like this. But like I said, I messed up this knuckle. I don't know if you could. If I take my other glove off, you can see the difference in size of the knuckle. I injured this when there's a lot of excess cartilage or something in this knuckle because of all the hammering holding the aluminum. Anyways, I was going to measure the diameter. This is like a little bit under 1.5 inches. So, pretty much 1.5 inches. Yeah. It's probably millimeters, right? Probably get it from China. 37 millimeter diameter. Something like that. Okay, this next stage is when I start to do the difficult thinning. And it's difficult because it might break. Okay. up to this point, there's not much risk of breaking, but now the risk of breaking increases a lot. And there always is a risk of breaking, yes. But it becomes almost exponentially more dangerous as it gets thinner. Okay? Why did they make these so thin back in the day? It cuts a lot better when it's thin. Yeah. Cuts a lot better. It's amazing how much better it cuts when it's thin. All right. Yeah, like that. See, accuracy. And don't remove too much of the edge. A lot of guys have trouble with removing too much of the edge with these strikes. Okay? You could do a ratio. How much of the edge is removed compared to how wide that flake is. Right? Some people want to know. Like inquiring minds want to know. That's like 3 millimeter. I took off 3 millimeter from the edge. And the total length of the flake is, we'll start with the number. Now we'll just measure like this. 40 millimeter. Okay, so what is that? What did I say? 4? That would be easy, right? Or 3? It's 3. It's 3 millimeter into 40 millimeter. Right? What's that? Whatever that is. Whatever that ratio is. Okay? That's what you can expect with similar material. It probably is a heat treat shirt. Kind of grainy, so it's not at the top of the line as far as materials go. That might have gone further with a better material, but at least it did not step fracture that much. Just a little bit of a abrupt termination. So it depends on the material, right? But 3 millimeters into, what's the ratio? 12 to 1? Because 36 times 3, 3 times 12 is 36. So it's like 12 to 1, the width of this platform compared to the total length of it. Right? Don't get it confused with the thickness ratio on the whole piece. It's just on that one flake. Some people want to know. I think that was 12 to 1 or something like that. Somewhere in that vicinity. Okay, but they're not all going to be that way. See, that one is not. You can look at that one's probably 2 millimeters, but didn't go very far. It sure didn't go 24 millimeters. Okay. It just kind of gives you an idea of what to expect for the good flakes. Okay. Anyways, I hope that helps somebody, because people tend to ask that. I've seen people ask that question before. How much of the edge do you lose for these flakes? What can you expect? And then what's the thickness of the flake too compared to the length of the flake? That kind of stuff. What can you expect? Well, you can expect to break a lot of stones before you get better at it. That's what you should be worried about expecting. Expect to break a lot of stones and fail a lot before you actually get good at this. That's what you should expect. Yeah. And don't ask these flakes to do more than they need, more than they can do. Sometimes new guys expect way too much of these flakes. Yeah. They're thinking, well, it should have done it. It should have done it. What's its problem? Other people could do it. What's your problem? I've seen your brothers, the other stones just like you. They cooperate. What's the matter with you? Yeah. I wish it worked that way. It would be a lot simpler to learn flint knapping. Yeah. Anyways, I gotta get that tip thin down. Drop the edge a little bit because it's way too high. Come on. I just need a little tap. So I can't get the accuracy, so I'm going to use indirect percussion to thin down this tip. See, it's got too much right there. I do want to make sure I always do that. Always thin down the tips. Okay? It's just a good habit to get into, even though it might not need it. Because it's not that weak. This stone is not that weak. It's pretty strong. But you never know. Having too much weight on the ends can lead to snapping in half. It's one of the main causes of snappages when it's unbalanced. And yeah, I gotta be careful, so I'm gonna zone out. Make sure I don't mess this up. Switching to a new tool is a little bit of a learning curve. I used to have more of an issue with it when I was new. When I switched over to indirect percussion, the first few strikes, they used to be guesswork, and I would mess it up sometimes because I switched tools instead of actually having better results with the tool that I switched to. I would end up messing it up before I got the hang of it. But by then it was too late. It's already messed up. But anyway, that goes away with practice. Jim Cooper says there's a huge storm where he is, shaking the cabin. Dang. There was supposed to be rain here tonight, but it didn't show up. Just as I was starting the live stream, it was supposed to be raining, but it didn't. Which is good because, you know, it interferes with the sound quality. I always have excellent sound quality. Yeah. Sure, I wish. But anyways, indirect percussion is so nice for the accuracy. Yeah, it allows me to do such precise hits. But even with precise hits, I still get those step fractures. I'm asking that flake to do too much work for the little amount of force that I gave it. I didn't give it enough force. It wasn't able to do enough work with that little bit of force I gave it. There. Starting to get thinner. Yeah. And just like before, this positioning is ergonomic. I could be like this. I could be like this. I could have this set up to where it's on top of my knee and in this direction. Whatever's ergonomic is what you do. It's not in exactly the way I'm doing it. I'm doing it in my interpretation of the most ergonomic way, right? But you can do it in other ways. The positioning can be different and get the same result. I just found it to be comfortable to do it in this direction like this. And sometimes there's a compromise where I probably could get a little bit better result with a little bit different positioning. But I don't because it's uncomfortable or something. Ooh, that's not good. A little bit too much. See, this is a little bit too much force can cause cracking. I don't know. Can you see that? I always look for cracks. Those are the bane of my existence. Of course, a step fracture right there, but there was a little crack right here. Yeah, you can see it from this direction. Those can mess you up. Those little cracks can open up and go right across the whole thing. How do you avoid that? I wish I knew. I wish there was a good explanation for trying to avoid that. If I could avoid them, I would. But sometimes I don't know why they happen. It's probably because was too much mass on that side, and it tries to dig into it, and it doesn't do very well in that direction. So it just stops. And when it stops, it's an incomplete fracture, which results in a crack. Yeah. I do think this is probably heat treat because these flakes are traveling well. Yeah. Did you see how to haft the LV201 flakes that I showed earlier? All you 98 guys that are in the chat, or all you viewers, did you see? Or are you all brand new guys? Where is it? Where did I do it? I had a blob of glue stuck to the edge of the flake. This is a Neanderthal tool. And this is modeling clay to simulate the birch tar glue. They just embed the flake into some glue like this. And this glue becomes the handle. And it's a butchering or whatever tool. Cutting, butchering, whatever. And you don't need a sharp one. You can use a duller one and dig with it. But yeah, if you have a big blob of glue like this, it works really well as a handle. Okay? And there are examples in the archaeological record where there's a bunch of birch tar on the sides of these things. Okay? All right. But it's residual birch tar. It's not this big blob because the big blob disintegrates. But there's residual birch tar, little layers and little specks of birch tar on these flakes sometimes. And that's what I think that they were doing. And there's other researchers that have come up with the same thing. And it's kind of like the precursor to an ulu knife. Right? Right. All right.
What is a precursor? Sometimes you say stupid stuff, and sometimes you say words that are big, too big.
Okay, fine. I don't know. Ask ChatGPT. That's my solution for everything. Yeah. What causes this? Too much force as it gets too thin. It's too thin for that much force. Yeah. You might say, no, it's not too thin. It's not thin enough. Okay, so it's just too much force for that amount of thinness. And it messes with the edge. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, it's my fault. I use too much force. Probably because I was talking about Neanderthals. Yeah. Let's see here. You guys are talking up a storm in the chat. It's going by so fast I can't see. Vibrational. Ooh, there's a vibrational connection between the stone and, between the flint and hammerstones and antler. There's a vibrational connection. I haven't heard that one before. Yeah. Is there the same vibrational connection between stone tools and wood? When you do woodworking? Like if you were to do woodworking with stone tools, is there a vibrational connection there too? How about stone tools and bones? How about stone tools and plants, live, living plants? Is there vibrational connections? I'm not making fun of you. I'm just saying, is that a thing? Is that a thing that can be tested? Is vibrational connections, or is it just a feel that you might have? As soon as the Native Americans were exposed to other tools for knapping, they used other tools for knapping, and then they discarded their vibrational connections to the natural tools, right? They almost immediately started using nails for pressure flaking, for instance. And they would use actual steel hammers at the quarries to break up the flint. Yeah, Native Americans, they adapted very quick to the new materials brought over by the Europeans. And some Native Americans did use copper, especially in the Great Lakes area, for flint knapping. There are archaeological finds, evidence for the use of copper in flint knapping, especially in the Great Lakes area. Hey, is Jake in the house? I saw the name Jake. I don't know. I got to check the chat in a minute. I'm trying to get this regularized, and then I'll check the chat. I need to do the hard part of this first. This is the hardest part of all the flint knapping, is getting this thin piece thinned down a little bit more. Without it looking all nasty. You know, we don't want step fractures. As I'm trying to get this thin, we don't want a bunch of step fractures on the surface. So I got to focus on this. My strikes have to be accurate, so I don't have step fracturing. Okay. Yeah, I think we can quit here and call it good for this stage. Stage is over. It doesn't need to get too much thinner. Dang it. Yeah, that needs to go. Okay. Just a little bit more, okay? Hold on. We're almost there yet. No, that's not supposed to do that. Okay. I see what you're going to do. I see what it's going to do. Yes, I see. It's not going to want to get thinner than this. Not at all. Sometimes it doesn't mind, right? But this one definitely does not. I'm grinding the edge just in case. I'm excessively grinding the edge. Let's see if that did it. Nope, it didn't reach. So I'm trying to get that step fracture from this side, but it didn't reach. Yeah. That's a bad one too. The best way to do those bad ones is to get them from the other side, but that didn't want to reach. Nope. I should have paused. No, it probably would have been the same. If I had taken a little break and then come back to it, I probably would have done that anyway. Yeah. Hold on while I try to do damage control. I'm thinning down the tip before I make that big strike to remove that step fracture. It's going to require a big flake. I can see where this is going. Yep. I can see where this is going for sure. It's going to be narrow. It's going to have to be a lot more narrow. So I can kind of see where I can clean that up. It's going to require a little bit of luck. I can probably clean it up a little bit, minimize it. But if I get all of it, it'll be lucky. Yeah, it's just, these mistakes can compound themselves. Yeah, just one little mistake can just cause a bunch of other ones to, it cascades. Right? Right. Let's see. Yeah, my best chance didn't make it. See that? I was hoping that would do it, but since it didn't do it, I'm left with not very many options. And it doesn't want to fan out in that direction where it's supposed to. It might be a hard spot, who knows? Yeah, see, it skips right over it. Instead of fanning out more that way, see how it's uneven? Should have fanned out a little bit more. That would have been nice. But no, didn't want to do it. Anyways, we'll get back to it. I can minimize that later. It's just going to require some more narrowing and then attack it again. Yeah, it's I think I can get it. Yeah. Might have to even shoot a flake from up here. Make this more narrow on this side and shoot a flake down in this area. Yeah. Okay, I'm going to lose a little bit of the tip probably. Okay, so let's check the chat and see what we got. I missed a lot of chat. And this is a challenge night. You know, I'm working stone that was rejected by my friend to see what I could do. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to see what I can do. Okay. Somebody's asking, what did I miss? You missed everything. I've already been napping for an hour and 19 minutes. Shinbone 5000's here. Good evening, Patrick. We working on a metric or imperial flint drill? Both. Wilderness Quest Outdoors. Jay is here. I found the most challenge rock, and now my wrist is broken. Jefferson Rhyolite. Oh, dang. Let's see. Snuffleo. I'm about to nap soon. What kind of nap? Let's see who else we got in the chat. Yeah, you missed a lot, Jay. Missed an hour and 19 minutes. You missed the secrets of the Neanderthals. Yeah, you missed the Neanderthal secret weapon. The la flake attached to a big blob of glue. You missed it. Yeah, I see some new guys in the chat. Gulf Coast Knapping is in the house. Well, need to go check out his channel. Yeah. Let's see. Okay, so I don't see questions. That's amazing. Explorer Nation X is here. I'm going to call out the names that I recognize. Yeah, Jesse, I tried to grab the corner of that hinge a couple times already. It didn't like doing it. No, it's not cooperating. WTF is happening? There's always somebody in the chat, right? WTF is happening. No rock puppet tonight? No, I didn't do any rock puppets tonight. Okay, yeah, bro is watching his own stream. Thomas says, bro, watching his own stream. He doesn't realize that I'm looking at the chat. He thinks I'm watching my own stream. Yeah. I have to watch my own stream after it's over in order to edit it. I sometimes edit little segments. So bro will watch his own stream just to make little edits. Yeah. When you're saying it, it's like it's a bad thing. Yep. You got deleted. I saw it. I did see that before Jorge deleted you. Oh, no, wait. He deleted his own message. Never mind. Who deleted? Okay, never mind. I thought someone got deleted, but no, Jorge deleted his own message. Okay. Dang it, I thought someone got deleted. Man, when is someone going to get put in timeout? I haven't seen any misbehaviors. Yeah, okay. I'm going to get back to napping then. Yeah. Drew's Concrete is here. Yeah, Drew gave me some rocks too. I saw those today when I was sorting through my stuff. Yep. I got some Texas rock from Drew. Yeah, we met up in San Angelo for an awesome napping. I'm going to be there again in October over at Roberto's house. Brandon says, any chance that Chalcedony I gave you and Brady could be on video? Yeah, it can be if as long as I wrote the name on it. Wrote your name on it, right? I think I did. But in order to get it speed tracked or on the skip in front of the line, I need to write it down. Let's see. Brandon Petty. Yeah, let's see. In order to get you in front of the line, I gotta write that down. I'll look for it. I do rock challenges twice a week. Tuesdays and Thursdays. Okay? All right, so... Let me make sure I don't put this in a place where I can't find it. Sometimes I lose my notes. Yeah. Okay, so let me see. Where was I? Marty says, how'd the slabs turn out last night? Well, I did a point from one of them. This point is from one of the slabs from last night. Yeah, it's a Washita. From the most difficult slab, I made this little point. And I hafted it with modeling clay to simulate the hafting glue. It simulates hot melt resin or asphaltum. Okay, so yeah, that was what I finished that one, but I got bifaces from the other pieces, except the big piece of dacite broke because there was an inclusion. There was a phenocryst. Yeah, I guess that's how you pronounce it. Okay, so that's what I made last night. One of them, I don't know what that is. I think it's a heat-treated weird piece of rock. And I don't know who I got it from. I don't think. Yeah, I don't know. I didn't write the name on that particular rock. And then I broke this on video last night because it had this perfect spherical phenocryst that actually broke in half. A lot of times when this happens, it doesn't break in half like this. It breaks around one side, so it leaves it alone. But this snaps right in half. And that's what would cause the weakness, that little phenocryst or whatever you call those. I call those doom bubbles. Anyway, it broke there. Oh well. Where are the other? I don't know where the other two are. That's one of the other slabs, but it just became a biface. I didn't, and this is the other slab. This is going to end up being a nice point. This is heat-treated Brazilian agate, nice translucency and everything. But I'll do this off camera so I don't break it. Yeah, okay, so let me put this away. Somewhere where I don't break those. They have to be out of the line of fire. So I'm going to try to get rid of those, and then we can move on to breaking some more big rocks. Someone left already? Alan says, I sent some Primo Dacite to Brady with giant ones in it. I see. Yeah, it's going to be a big blade. I'm not too worried. I've got other big pieces of dacite. Yeah, I got other big pieces of dacite. If you want to see a dacite blade, I've got some more. Actually, somebody said that his favorite video was a dacite video. I can put that in the front of the line too. More dacite blades. Come on. More dacite blades. Yeah. Big. We don't want no stinking small ones, apparently. I think I've got some dacite that's 6 inches long. That one was, I don't know. I don't know how long that one was. So how am I going to get those out? See, the worst things right now are trying to get these out, and it's near the tip. So I've always had a challenge napping near the tip. It's always been something that's difficult for me to do. So we'll see. I'm going to lose some length here so I can get closer to that obstacle and also beef up this edge Yes, I might not do any good. We'll try to shoot a flake all the way into that area. I might not be able to do it with this amount of length on there. So just take off some of the tip, but not more than, well, just minimal amount. Yeah. Not more than a minimal. Just enough to drive that flake. I got to cause this to be more convex. I gotta make sure it's just convex in that area that I'm going to shoot the flake into. And make sure the edge is thick as well. Convexity, thick edge, and clear path into the obstacle. I don't know. No. I could tell that didn't like doing that. The flake went in the proper direction, just not far enough. So every time you got to get closer. See? Did it do it? Hey, hey. Hey, what step fractures? I don't see no step fracture. Alrighty then. Yes. Okay. That was the hardest part of that whole thing. Yeah, I lost about I don't know, how much I lose, 1/8 of an inch or 1/4 inch? Something like that. But yeah, that was worrying me a lot. But now it's gone, so it doesn't worry me no more. Yeah. Do you see how to do it? You can do it now because you saw it, right? Got your angulometer and everything out? Yeah. That was kind of lucky that I got both. I was thinking to get one and then get the other one. But it got both. Yeah. Okay. Both those nasty areas. Okay, so that was the hard part on that one. Now let's go to these other pieces. See what they got. Let's make some bifaces. See how much time I got. Oh, this is gonna be the same stuff. Dawn, you gave me the same stuff. It looks very similar. Yeah, it looks very similar. Come on. Okay, I see. It's kind of sticky. Oh, this is very grainy. This is a lot like quartzite. It's got some issues. See, it's got the natural crack in here. I thought it was going to break along that. It's got some other issues. So you can see the patina in there. Natural crack right there. What you doing flaking over here? Hmm? No. Dang. Come on. Yeah, like that. I want to see what's in there. Yeah, that's okay. I kind of expected that. This is really tough material. I doubt that this is heat treat. This is raw for sure. Yeah. That is super, super, super grainy. Okay, we're just... Yeah, that is a challenge. Yeah. And he said heat treat, so it's heat treated, but it's still tough. Look at that. It's scooped out instead of traveling. That happens with high grade stuff too, but I hit that extremely hard. I should have traveled a little bit further, I would think. Some people, that's all they got is this kind of stuff to nap. That's it. That's all they got. It looks so promising on this side. But I think Dawn knew that it was going to be deceiving. What you see is not what you get. Yeah. Maybe if I just remove all this from this side. You know, remove all this mess from this side, you get into that darker material. It might actually work. Man, that's nasty. It's trying. It's trying to do it. This is the heaviest bopper I have too. I'm hitting it extremely hard. Yeah, this is not bad. On this side, I don't know. I'm probably not going to nap this whole thing, but I do want to see if it's salvageable. Yeah, smaller bottle. The trick is not to nap away the good stuff. Just skin off the cortex, and that's it. Almost got it. Yeah, we're just going to leave it on there for now. We're going to see if we can skin off this nasty stuff. Or not skin it off. Blast it away. See if we can blast away that nasty stuff. No, need a bigger bopper. Bigger bopper upper. Almost. Almost. Almost is not good enough in Flintknapping. Come on. Yeah. I don't know. It looks pretty nasty. It looks hopeless. Yeah, it looks pretty hopeless. I don't know if I can get under it. It's just stopping. It doesn't want to flake right there, so I think there's no way I'm gonna get that unless I make it really small. Yeah, I can't preserve the size on that sucker. This is not cooperating, right? The only way to thin that down, yeah, I could use a Knapping, right? But it would require some really bad abuse on the Knapping, so I'm not going to do it. Yeah, I could hit the front of those step fractures, but it would just abuse the Knapping tool. It's not good to abuse the tools too much. Sometimes you can whittle those down little by little. But in this case, it's going to be quite the challenge. I'm going to see anyway. I'm going to try anyway. Let's see. It's a heavy-duty copper spatula tool, okay? And why would I even bother with this? I'm actually bothering it with it because of curiosity. It's a challenge video, right? Let's see what I can do. I tried the normal ways. Now let's think a little bit outside the box. Dang. Okay, there it goes. I'm hitting this very, very hard, okay? It is hitting it hard. It's shaking the whole shop. That was not too bad. Let's see. Yeah, see, I bent that. See that? It's not good to abuse the tools. They don't like you after a while. Oh, come on. You got to be better than that. Ooh, it's starting to have an effect. Yeah. Starting to have an effect. Yeah. Yeah, sure. It can cut something. It can cut watermelons and tomatoes like the other videos. Yeah. I suppose I can cut a watermelon or a tomato with this. Maybe some grapes. Some cooked green beans. Yeah. That'd be awesome. I could show how it cuts bananas. Yeah. Maybe even pierce a Coke bottle. Those are really hard to pierce. Yeah. Or cheese. Cut some cheese. There you go. I like the way you're thinking. Somebody said cheese. That's right on my level of humor. Okay, you ready? I'm ready. I'm ready to see something happen here. I'm ready to see that go away. Yeah. I'm tired of seeing that. I'm going to be hitting the middle like nobody's business. Here in a second. If I can reduce some mass off the tip here, I'm going to go medieval on the middle part here. Haven't heard that in a long time. Are we gonna be there yet? We're almost there yet, okay? Just these challenge videos. These challenge videos are challenging. Yeah. It's funny how that works. I don't know. I'm not even close enough to that. I'm gonna have to bend that copper rod. Yeah. I'm gonna have to bend that. More than it's ever been bent. What about the steel rods? I still have steel rods. What I normally use on these are steel rods. Yeah. I don't want to go back into my toolbox, do I? Let me see. If the steel rods are easily accessible, I did see them somewhere. I gave away some of my steel. Where's the other one? If I'm not using them, I usually give my tools away. But don't get no ideas. Ah, come on. These are... I don't have any rounded edges on these. See, I got some steel. This is thick 1/2 inch steel. I could probably do it. I don't know, maybe. We'll see. Let's try that. Let's try this has a mallet too. Yeah, that might actually work. I think it did it. Where it's getting there. That taught it a lesson. Don't mess with the steel and aluminum. Yeah. There you go. This causes a major disturbance in the force, so if you see a bunch of Jedis coming in and putting an end to this, you know what happened. Yes. I think we're cooking with some gas now. Oh yes. See what I'm using? No? It has a nice ring to it, huh? Yeah. I bet you thought steel wouldn't work, especially with aluminum billet or the aluminum mallet. Yeah, like that. But I scooped it. But I had to scoop it to get rid of the nasties. Now what do I do? I think I got rid of like 90% of it. Yes? Let's see, there's still some up here. Yeah. Just release more force. Just need to show it who's boss. With this big old 1.5 inch diameter aluminum mallet and a 1/2 inch steel, right? It's 1/2 inch steel with a square edge, flat face instead of being rounded. It concentrated the force a lot. Okay, so what is the diameter on this? It's not 1/2 inch, is it? Almost 1/2 inch. It's a little bit shy. Well, I guess, yeah, it's 1/2 inch. Yeah, okay, 1/2 inch steel. So that's the secret. Yeah, 1/2 inch steel with a aluminum mallet. Now you can be an expert flint napper. Yeah. It still feels raw though. Supposedly a heat treat. All right, what do we got? Let's clean up. Because, yeah, this is not going to be a big challenge now since this is the good stuff on this side. It's not going to be as much of a challenge. Yeah, we put that one to rest. My poor copper. Look at that. It'll never be the same. I'm going to keep that steel out. Yeah. Because we're going to have some challenges that are like that coming up again. Oh, yes. I see some more challenges in my future. I saw some of that stuff you guys sent me. Oh, yeah. Yeah, Marty says I got to the center of that Tootsie Pop. Yeah, sweet part of the Tootsie Pop. How many licks did it take? Like 4 licks? Yep. I'll be looking out for Jedis because I disturbed the force there. We're gonna come around snooping. What's going on out here? What's going on over here? Don't no worries. We got it handled. Yeah, we put an end to this stubbornness. I've got some brass too. I got a brass indirect percussion flaker. Yeah, see that? That's more than a 1/2 inch. And I got some smaller diameter brass that I'll be using in future videos. I just haven't gotten in the mood to use brass yet. You got to be in the right mood or it's not going to work. That's the rule. All right, so let's get to the other piece. I got a 1/2 inch copper too. I haven't used this one because I haven't had a need to until now. I'm going to probably have to round this ends off and start using it. Okay. Let's clean off the glasses. Look how much dust from that. I can't see. I've already been on an hour and 57 minutes. Yeah. You remember the wise old owl in the Tootsie Pop commercials? Yeah, oh yes. We grew up with that stuff. Yeah, but that wise old owl was a scammer. We should have been able to recognize the scammers these days. All right, so I'm taking off the delicate parts. It looks like it's not bad. This one looks like it's not bad. I don't know why he rejected this piece. We shall see. Maybe it had some internal cracks. All right, let's see what we can do with this one. Oh, I see now why. It looks like chicken poop. Yeah, that's why. I couldn't see it on this side. Oh yeah. It's translucent. It is a chert. But it probably needs more heat. Yep. But we'll see anyway. We'll see. We'll see how far it goes. It's got a natural crack in it. Right there. Awesome. Yeah, this feels like it'd be excellent for flint and steel. Let's see. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I knew it. Excellent flint for flint and steel. It just has that feel to it. Yes, it does. Oh yeah. Look at it. That's a good saw blade right there for making bow and arrowheads. I'm going to eventually show you guys how to make bow and arrowheads. And that edge right there is excellent for sawing notches in bone. See that? It's a tough, raw edge. You just need to knock off just a little bit of that delicate edge, and then you're all set. It's still got those little serrations in it. Yeah, I wish I could show you. I'll show you eventually. Yeah, just you can saw notches in the bone. It's so much easier than trying to pressure flake notches in stone. You can just saw them in with a flake with bone arrowheads. It's a whole different ball game. All right, Where am I? Where am I on this? I don't know. I want to get some good flakes without making too many of these crud flakes. Yeah, like that. This one does not feel like a heat treat at all. I'm sorry, Don. I don't think he heat treated this one. This one feels solid and raw. Yeah. People say stuff like, oh, that probably makes real durable arrowheads. Yeah, durable. Yeah, if you can make an arrowhead out of it, it'll be durable. But it's stone, so it can only be as durable as stone, which is not very durable in comparison to other materials. Okay? All right. Like metals. But as far as stone goes, yeah, I suppose this is exceptionally raw. How's that? It's exceptional. Really? Is there such a thing as exceptionally raw? No, I'm just trying to lighten the mood a little bit. Yeah, I can see why he did not continue with this one. Look at that. That's a big old obstacle right there. I should be wearing 2 gloves. This is a double glover. Yeah. Anytime now one of these flakes come back and shoot backwards because I'm hitting it so hard. Okay, how about this one? Yeah, that's not bad. Yeah, like that. Now see, this material here on the right under the cortex is not bad. Yeah, that's not too bad. Kind of like the other one. If I could just get rid of this mess down in here, then we'd be cooking with gas. Yes? We still got this crystal pocket in here. Yeah, this needs to go back into the heat. If it is heat treated, which I don't think it is, but if it is, it needs to go back in the heat. Yeah, it's not doing it. Some of those can be used that are right under the cortex. Used as is. These cortical flakes, some of them are not bad. Like these cortical flakes, these will nap easier than the other stuff. But it's got to be cortical. It's got to have the cortex. It can't just be stained. Like this, I think this is just stained. It has to have some cortex on it like that. And then the stuff underneath is not bad. Yeah, the rest of it just got stained, so that's not good. This one might be a good piece. Yeah, have some cortex. So we call those cortical flakes. They can be used, and they were saved back in the past. You find those in campsites. And archaeologists gave them a name. They called them cortical flakes. But yeah, you can put it back in the heat once you get it bifaced. Oh dang, that's too much. Yeah, it's still a little bit thick in the middle for heat treating. Yeah, but what about the big chunks that said heat treat? Yeah, he took a chance on those. He might have ramped it up really, really slowly because he has a kiln. Okay, let's see. I'm still using the big bopper. Oh yeah. I have to modify the edge so I can take off the rest of this mat. This isn't too bad on this side, but this is nasty on this side. So I'm going to move the edge this way. Mm-hmm. No. I didn't do anything. Dang it. Yeah. Like that. See, that was what you're supposed to do. Something's going wrong with that. Something's up with that. Oh, come on. It's making me dig in. Man. It's not doing it. No, it's not doing it. Yeah, with some heat that might work, but I'm worried about this crack in here. That's messing everything up. It doesn't want to be thinned, obviously. Yeah, we're just gonna leave this one. This one needs to be reheated. Yeah. If I go any further, I'm gonna crush this like crazy. Yeah. Okay. So what did we get? I don't know. I like this one. I don't like this one really, but I can get something out of it. I mean, these are useful flakes for little bitty arrowheads. This has some cortex on it, so this might not be too bad in this area. So yeah, this is what we got from it basically to make points out of. You know, I can make points out of this stuff, but this needs to go back in the heat. If it is heat treated, it's not heat treated enough. And these might slick up, as they say. Okay. Or they can be used as flints for flint and steel, because it works really well. It's got that consistency where it's very very quartz-like, very grainy. It's excellent and tough on the edges. It's not crumbly. It's very grainy, but it's not crumbly. That's perfect for flint and steel. Okay, let me check the chat. Is that it? Well, I'm already tired. Let me see. I could do something with this one. Yeah, I could do something with it. It might start to get a little translucent as I get thinner. Yeah, much easier to deal with this one. Yep. I'm moving it around a lot because I'm looking at the symmetry or lack of symmetry. Yeah. I vacuumed. I did a lot of vacuuming today. I think I talked about the pollen yesterday. Amazing how much pollen there is right now. Yeah. Like that. Now I can do a little bit more thinning. Or leave it thick and then do beveling. That way the beveling shows up nice. Yeah, leave it thick and do some beveling. No, that requires a little bit thicker, a little more serious. Yeah. Let's get these out of the way, because if I drop it on these flakes and stuff, all that work for nothing. Yeah. All right. Got some serious flaking to do here. Okay. There it is. Big old flake. Just like I like it. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Except a stiff fracture. But that's all right. It doesn't need to be perfect. Oops. How about that? Yes. I don't know how these go. All right. I try to put them back together sometimes, but that stuff gives me a brain fart. How can I understand napping when I can't even reassemble the flakes? I don't know. That's a good question. I don't know how I understand Flintknapping. I don't even know how I do this. It's not like my other skills where I got a firm grasp on how I'm doing it. This, I don't have a firm grasp on it at all. If I think about it too much and try to get a firm grasp on it, it messes it up. Although I do have to pay attention to the surfaces. I do have to pay a lot of attention on the surfaces, making sure that we have convexity. But other than that, everything else is second nature. the amount of force and all that. I don't know how I do it. How do I make that judgment? It's just experience. If I think about how much force I need to do it, I mess it up. Okay. Yes. Ooh, that was a close one. I could feel it didn't do anything. Luckily, it did. It did not step fracture. Okay. So I had to improve the edge so those flakes will actually travel. And is it getting translucent? A little bit. Let's see. I do have a flashlight now. I might be able to. It does have some translucency. Yeah. More down here. Okay. Yeah, let's use enough force to break it. Yeah. Like that. Oh, I'm pushing my luck. Starting to get all finicky. Oh, yes. It might be because it's tough right there. What's the good side? Yeah, I think this is going to be the tough side. So the edges have to be stronger when you want to hit that side or run flakes. If one side is tougher than the other, you need to modify the edge differently. Yep. Oh, that's not good. Oh, that's not good at all. Because when nothing happens, that means there could be incipient cracks in there. I don't know. It might be all right. Oh, there was incipient cracks in there. But they're not bad. Yeah, that's about the limit of my ability right there. I mean, I could try for a flake down and through there, but I think that's being a little bit too persnickety. Yes. That makes me feel better. All right, that's it. I'm going to leave that stiff fracture in there, and I think that's it, unless I want to thin down the base or stem a little bit more. Yeah, like that. Excellent. I just got to thin this down. Yeah. That's all. Easy peasy, right? It's cooperative down in that area. It's a little bit lopsided, yeah, but it's all right. Still needs a little bit more mass removed. Yeah. But, I don't know. The edge is really thin. It looks convex enough, but the edge is really thin, so I got to remove a lot of width. All right, but I'll thin it a little bit. Yeah, I can thin it a little bit more without risking it too much. We don't have as many viewers as we usually have at this hour. Usually toward the end of my live streams, we have more viewers than in the beginning. I guess people don't want to see the hardest part of Flintknapping tonight, or they need to go to bed because they've been partying too hard. That's not even that late. One more flake. Famous last words. Two more flakes. If we say 2 more flakes, then it won't be as bad. It's when you say 1 more flake, then that's when you got to worry. Okay. Well, I am able to pick that, but it's not working. I'm able to, grip onto the face of that stiff fracture, but it's too tough. I would have to run another flake in the other direction. But yeah, it's too risky. So that will clean up nicely, and then I can just bevel it or something. But I don't want to do it tonight. Let's see how well it pressure flakes. Try my new pad. I cut some, I sanded some little depressions in there so the flakes can be free. Yeah, it pressure flakes okay. Yeah, not too shabby. You can't really see the flake scars that well. It's not a material that shows the flake scars really well. Come on. Why is it so slippery? Man. I really got to hold that flicker firmly or it slips. Let's see. Yeah, it feels, this one, I don't know. I can't tell if it's heat treated, or if the heat treat made any difference. It probably is heat treated, but I wish I would have known what the stone was like before he heat treated it. Because it feels raw, like the heat treatment didn't do much. Now that I'm pressure flaking it, I can tell that it's a little bit too rough. Making a dovetail? No, I'm just trying to make a blade and not break it. Yeah, this is Texas rock. I could make a dovetail, yeah, but that's not what I'm trying to make. I'm just trying to do this without breaking it. Yeah, it's just in the preliminary stages of, of finishing. Preliminary stages. How do I say this? Yeah, it's becoming a preform, so it's in the preliminary stages of being a preform. What are you guys doing up? You just, yeah, it would make a pretty good one, yeah. You guys are just now joining us. Let's see, it's past midnight, a little bit past midnight my time. Elijah says, do you still heat treat most of your rock, or do you mostly buy high quality rock now? I mostly buy the high quality rock. I'll show you my stash of rocks soon. After I just got a new shipment of a bunch of little crates, little boxes, little plastic crates. The smaller than milk crates. I found some little ones that are nice. Like right here. I found these little miniature milk crates. I don't know if you can see it. And I bought a bunch because they're cheap. So I'm going to be transferring my rocks into those. And they're stackable. I can stack 5 or 6 on top of each other. And I can see through it. It's got little round holes. See that? I got a bunch of those. I'm excited. So once I get those organized, I'll show you, and then we can start the heat treating process after I figure out which stones I'm going to heat treat. heat treating is less expensive in the summer. I noticed a difference when I was in Texas, especially. It might not make too much difference here because the hottest we get here is like 95, 97. If we're lucky, we'll get 98. I say lucky in quotation marks because the humidity is terrible. Oh, there we go. It's showing its resistance to thinning. Yeah. There's still a little crack right here. No, it's not a crack, it's just a little divot. I don't have to worry about that divot. Yeah, it's amazing how little defects can make a big difference. All right, that's good enough. I just wanted to make it more tapered. I think it's good enough. There's a little bit of too much mass here, but this got a weird surface. It's not convex all the way across there. It's a little bit, it dips a little bit. So I'm just going to leave that. Yeah. The edge is straight enough. And I can make it straighter with pressure flaking. The base is thinned down enough for hafting. Oh, I made a really deep notch in this. Yeah, see that? And then all I need to do is put a lot of glue on that and then wrap the whole thing. Yeah. Beautiful. That's what I would do with this. If it was just a blade with no notches, I would, even with notches, a little bit of side notches on there. That's how I would haft this one as a knife. Yeah, like that. Just sharpen it up. That's good. And this is, I think this is elm. And I'm going to show you how they float when you make these handles out of wood, and to make the handles big enough. If you drop them in water by accident, they will float. And yeah, back in the day, they spent a lot of time around water, so that's what I would do if I spent a lot of time around water. I'd make the handles out of as big a piece of wood as possible, as comfortable as possible, so I wouldn't lose the knife. But this one, I think, might sink. This is pretty dense. This feels pretty dense, but who knows? Yeah. Just glue by itself would work on this. Yeah. There's enough surface area where you can just use glue with no wraps if it's going to be a knife. But if you notch it and put wraps, you can actually fight with this knife. And it won't come loose. But if you're just skinning or whatever, gutting and then, separating the skin from the carcass, you don't need a lot of resistance in this direction. You need some, but not very much. But if you're going to finish off the deer or whatever, if you don't have a spear, right? Or if you're fighting, this needs to be strong in this direction. Yeah. So what kind of notches? I would just put side notches, like, who was saying dovetail or something like that? Turkey tail or dovetail? Not turkey tail. What did you guys say? Let's see. Dovetail, yeah. With the dovetail notches, it would hold it in pretty good. Yeah. Okay. But I'm gonna call it a night. So what I'm gonna do with this one is I'm gonna put it in there with all the flakes in one of these little bins that I showed you for heat treatment later. Yeah, I'm gonna heat treat this. Once this gets nice and heat treated, it makes some pretty points, because this is interesting. The translucency becomes interesting because it's got a lot of inclusions in it. I'll show you. Let's see. Yeah, and this I'm going to finish off camera. Put it in the box with all my other bifaces. Let's see if we can get some nice views of how this looks. See, it has these inclusions in it. If you can get it thin, it's pretty cool. Yeah. It doesn't look like it would have a lot of inclusions, but when you do that, and when you heat treat it, you can thin it down enough to show those. Show all the inclusions. Now this one is not as translucent, even though it's thin, it's still not that translucent. Yeah. Okay. Yep, that's it. I'm going to look at the chat and then I'm going to say goodnight. It's good enough. I'll finish this off. I'll finish this off camera. Yeah. All right. Okay, so there might not be a live stream tomorrow night, but I'll make the announcement. We got something going on for tomorrow night. Tomorrow night's Friday, right? Yeah. There's something going on, so I might not make it to the live stream tomorrow night, but I'll announce it and we'll see what happens. Eric Kitty is here. You're supposed to hold the back of the blade. Yeah, you can hold it like right. You're talking like this. Hold it like that. Yeah. You can just dull the bottom half and hold it like this. But it's so much better with the handle because the handle makes it float if you drop it in the water. All right. Very nice blade. Really nice blade, Patrick. Thank you, thank you. Great live. Thank you, thank you. I'm glad you think so. Good night, everybody. Good to see everybody. Some people are just now joining us. Oh, well. Just in time, too, because I got that scratchy throat all of a sudden. Okay. Sorry about that. Yeah, I think I answered that question. All right, so that's it. We'll see you guys. Maybe not tomorrow night. I'm going to make the announcement whether or not I'm going to have a live stream tomorrow night. Okay? Probably not, but there'll be something else going on. I'll let you know. It's a surprise. Yeah. Okay? Good to see everybody. Take care. Bye-bye.